I was first exposed to modern slavery when I was in 7th grade. My sister introduced me to One Body Village, a non-profit organization based in Vietnam that rescue and provide shelters for victims. 2 years ago, I had the opportunity to visit One Body Village, and that experience changed me forever. When I reached One Body Village, it was far different from my imagination. There were no children crying in the corner, only smiling faces greeting me from afar. It was almost as if they had never suffered from a horrible past. But Jacqueline, the coordinator for my trip, explained to me that when these girls first entered the house, they were too hurt and afraid to talk to anyone. Some of these girls will be trained not by strangers, but by the people closest to them, their grandpas, fathers, neighbors. And it was the silence of those around them that made them continue to suffer. It took months of counseling and an abundance of love and care to bring back their smile. Listening to stories about these young survivors touched my heart very deeply. Their resilience empowered me to be the voice for the voiceless. It is a cruel truth, but human trafficking is modern slavery. The more I research about human trafficking, the more terrified I am at the war around me. As naive as I may sound, I thought slavery was a thing of the past. But I was wrong. Modern slavery exists in a scarier and far worse form than what I imagined. In the past, between the 16th and the 19th century, approximately 12.5 million Africans were shipped to the New World, according to the Transatlantic Slave Trade Database. Today, the International Labor Organization estimates that 40.3 million people are currently enslaved. 1 in 4 are children. It pained me to see this atrocity happen to our most vulnerable, children. We are so concerned about slavery happening in the past, so why don't we take more action today to eradicate slavery forever? I always thought human trafficking only happened in faraway countries. Never had it crossed my mind that it would happen here in America. But the truth is, human trafficking does not only happen half a globe from where I live. It is happening here. Several months ago, a Chesterfield man was convicted of attempted sex trafficking of a child. He attempted to obtain young girls to sexually molest and produce child pornography, which he would then sell for profit. We often reassure ourselves that it will never happen to me, but the truth is, it can happen to any of us. We deny the existence of human trafficking because pretending it does not exist is easier than acknowledging the truth. Since 4th grade, I have been participating in family life education, learning about abstinence, sexually transmitted diseases, and domestic abuse. I learned about activities that are harmful and different methods to protect myself. But the word human trafficking was never mentioned in any of my 7 years in family life class. So why is that? Why haven't schools educated students about human trafficking when victims of human trafficking are students in American school system? Educating youth and school officials on the nature and danger of human trafficking is the most practical way to end human trafficking. We need school leaders to incorporate human trafficking prevention program in school. It is important that students learn and are aware of the negative pressures that may make them susceptible and vulnerable to trafficker. Students need to be aware of the things that can happen to them. We need to do something. We can no longer stay silent when it is happening in our own backyard. When we keep silent, it is a green light for traffickers to continue what they are doing. The traffickers are working in the shadow. By educating ourselves and raising awareness, we are exposing them to light. I hope that educators begin to realize the importance of educating students about human trafficking before it is too late. I hope that each of us take the initiative to educate ourselves about this issue so that we and the people that we know will not be a victim of this crime, because an educated student is a protected student. The idea of implementing a human trafficking prevention program in school is not a new idea, but it is an idea worth spreading. It is an idea that needs to become a reality. And with that, I want to end with a reminder. Silence kills. Our only option is to do something. Thank you.